Hello and welcome to Fireside Chats at the Influencer Series conducted by the Alchemist Accelerator. These are timely chats with tech leaders about what's on their mind. Let's get into it. It's fantastic to have you, Roger Luo, at the Influencer Series here today. Let me give people the background for you, Roger. Roger, or should I say Roger, went to the École Polytechnique in Switzerland, and where you got your PhD in machine learning out of Lausanne, which is fantastic. If people don't know, École Polytechnique is the premier engineering institution out of Switzerland. You've been an angel investor in 3 unicorn startups, as well as you've led machine learning and applied science at Yahoo Labs, Niantic, and Snap. And you have 8 patents yourself in AI. And now you're a venture capitalist, and you've gone on to, you formalized your awesome acumen in angel investing into a formal VC role as the founding managing director of Embedding VC. And I love this. Embedding VC is a pre-seed, seed stage venture fund that has the mission of really funding and driving and backing U.S. generative AI startups. So you're really committed to the mission of developing AGI and believe that we're on the onset of a new computer supercycle fundamentally driven by AI innovations. So it's great to have you, Roger. And I know you were one of the perspective sharers today at the Influencer Series. Can you share the thesis that you are presenting?
Yes, thanks for having me, Ravi.
Yes.
So the thesis I was going to talk about is that what are the future of software engineering, right? Is the software engineering job going to be eliminated, or like what are the future for it? Yeah.
I think that's a huge question. So please share. What's the answer?
Yeah. So first of all, as an engineer myself, I take a lot of pride on the code I write and the work I'm doing.
Yes.
So the TLDR is that I don't think a software engineering job is going to be eliminated anytime soon.
Okay.
And however, the craft is going to be changed. And also the whole software engineering organization, the roles, is also going to shift.
Are you optimistic or pessimistic?
I'm more optimistic on what it's doing. So first of all, I'm going to say like a lot of people are talking about AGI, although people have different definition of what's AGI going to look like.
Yeah.
And I'm not smart enough to tell the future of if there's a super intelligent, what happened, right? Like what the future is going to look like for software engineer or any other job role, right? Okay. There are just too many moving pieces. However, under current condition, what we see in the breakthrough is that the most advanced AI model, which is the large language model, is doing really well on doing the coding task, doing all this code completion or generate code for complete certain task. Right. So the model is really good at it because the software code is a very structured language, and the model is really good at learning it. Also, thanks to the GitHub and a lot of open source project, there are just so many data available to it. All right, so make the coding, the coding generation really already outpass the average software engineer candidate.
Yeah.
And performance is getting close to the best candidate, or like the best, the Olympic, the information Olympic, the engineer's performance.
Yep.
Right. So we see that advancement from GPT-3, GPT-3.5, then the cloud sonnet model, to the most recent the O1, the OpenAI's O1 model. Yeah. Right. So let's get advanced a lot, and in terms of the toolings, we already start to see significant productivity gain by utilizing this kind of generative AI models. Right. So for the most adopted use case, the two are the GPT Copilot, the GitHub Copilot.
Yeah.
Right. So they've been measured that the Copilot's productivity gain is around 15%, and this is a product which Microsoft outsourced the AI model to to OpenAI. So there's still a lot of room can be improved, right? We start to seeing tools like Cursors and Augment Code, which both doing a lot of polish in terms of the coding interface, as well as index the whole context of the code base. And the productivity gain can further be improved from what we're seeing, from the 15% to double to like 25 to 30%. This has been measured by a lot of the users. That's why we see some of these very accelerate growth of product like Cursors. Right, they go from like a 10 million revenue to 100 million revenue within 6 months. I think with the coding model continue to improve, and as well as the surrounding ecosystem being built, just talking about the software engineering itself, the practice, it can easily the tool can easily gain the productivity gain from to improve the software engineering's productivity by 2 to 3 times.
Okay.
With that said, I still cannot fully replace a software engineer.
But is there a time when there's a few questions?
Yeah.
Is there a multiple of productivity which becomes a threshold where the software engineer no longer needs to exist, or is basically trivial in their role?
I don't think that's this kind of threshold again, right? So software engineering, especially the software engineering development cycle, right? It's not just about writing the code. There's from the design to the test to launching the product, the maintenance. There are different components, which is important piece, a key component of this. Right. We talk about the code generation part.
Yeah.
We also have start to see some of the agents doing the DevOps, and we start to see agents doing compliance and the safety review. Which I don't think that it's going to be less this tipping point is that less machine is good at doing what machine is doing good to do, and but the human is better in doing this creative part.
And when we say the creative, well, actually, a few questions. I know we were talking about this before, and I wasn't sure what the takeaway was. With AGI, do you choose not to define the criteria for AGI, or do you have a criteria for AGI in your mind?
Yeah, so that was the question. What I mentioned, right? The prediction is that I think the super intelligent, then there will be too much moving piece. I'm not able to define. Right? So I think if we're talking about AGI. In terms of current, just as a continuation of current large language model or the AI systems, right? Then it will be able to generate more accurate code given the description, and or generate more accurate document or instructions on performing a specific task, but it still lacks a lot of the context. Or the things which I don't see current model in short term is going to capture, because they lack the context, they lack the particular information in the training data, right? Human take the software, the improvement of the software's engineering development cycle, for example, right? So that's typically the principal engineer or the VP's engineering's job, right? They need to understanding their production environment, the business context, in order to define the software development cycle for the particular company.
But when we get when we start to get into the phase of a swarm of AIs that are all interacting, is that, do you think, the inflection point when the software engineer's role gets threatened? Because it sounds like when we're talking about the creativity, part of this is thinking about the orchestration of different pieces.
Yes.
And so if that when everybody's talking about the evolution of things going from agents to swarms of agents or networks of agents, is in your mind, is that an inflection point where things change fundamentally for the software engineer, or is there still a creativity piece after AI can do orchestration?
They are still the creativity piece, because humans are the fundamental the user of a lot of this software. Right, so as their consumer behavior change, we need a creative to understanding this and create innovate on the software piece.
And so AGI is not. Do you think AGI is a question of degree to where we're at here, or is it fundamentally a difference in kind in terms of what AI exists today? Is it going to be a totally different paradigm to get to AGI?
Yeah, so I'm more in the Yann LeCun school on the like by just continue scaling current large language model.
Yeah.
I think it's not going to reach AGI.
Okay.
Right. So it's more like it's an important component of the important brain of the AGI system.
Okay.
But it's a much longer time horizon we're going to see. Yeah.
Okay. But once we do hit AGI, you think that at that point the software engineer's role is threatened?
Then the craft will be changed.
Okay.
That's what I mentioned.
And what's the time frame for you? I know it's going to be a while, but what does a while mean for you?
Yeah, so saying that in public recording
Is not good.
shooting
Okay.
in my
Well, would you rather be a software engineer 100 years from now or 100 years ago? I don't know. Is that a fair thing to say? Maybe I should say, 20 years. I don't think that existed. So maybe 20 years ago. Would you rather be a software engineer 20 years in the future or 20 years in the past? At the dawn of the internet, when the internet boom was happening, or 20 years in the future? I don't know.
To me, I prefer it to be the 20 years in the future.
You do, okay.
Because I thinking about by empowering by all these tools.
Yeah.
I'm more optimistic view, right? So that the able of the product I'm going to build,
Let
the
me play
value I'm going to generate.
Let me play cynic.
Yeah.
Because at the point when these agents can start to interoperate, because I hear you that right now it sounds like the thesis is there's a lot of productivity gains that we get with these agents, but it's ultimately incremental. It's like it's 15% to maybe 3x, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's still the engineer, the human is still central.
Yeah.
At the point when these agents can start to talk to each other and interoperate, wouldn't they be able to calculate things creatively that we couldn't even anticipate trying to get to with our own minds? I guess that's what it's described. And so at that point, when they're starting to communicate back and forth, how does a software engineer, how can they outcompete that?
Yeah. So I think that's what I'm talking about, right? So like by that time, the definition of agent, human can be augmented by agent, or could be cyborg, or could be some kind of future version, like whether the agent can wear the software engineering role.
Yeah.
Like in that case, right? So like agent or AI or human, I think the line is going to be more ambiguous.
Okay.
So that's why that's a future. Well, I would say it's hard to predict. But right now, by continually scaling current line of work, which I do think that AI play a more the role for AI is to augment human.
Okay.
And
can we? Is it safe to say that there will always be interesting, innovative things to work on, even as technology continues to progress? Will never be obsoleted, or is that not a fair assumption?
That's more like the utopia future.
That's the utopia future. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm asking. Is it fair to think about the utopia? Because I would hate to see a world in the future where part of the joy of being human is solving hard problems. And do you think there comes a time when our brains are no longer going to be needed to solve hard problems?
I think first, I think there will be multiple stage, right? There will be the stage human augmented by AI or multiple agent, right? So really empower and solving much difficult problems which human brain is probably incapable of. Or maybe human lifespans don't have enough time to absorb all this knowledge to solve. That's the stage. Right? Then there's the future stage. It kind of indicates that there will be cyber or maybe a new life or new form of life, which then could be much more interesting problems and for this new form of life.
But do you think that's the future, that the ultimate future is speciation, that there's a new species that ultimately evolves and we ultimately become obsoleted?
I think that's possible.
Because your mission is to accelerate. You're accelerating this inevitability. You're accelerating AGI, and so you do think that post AGI that might mean the obsolescence of humanity as a species as we know of it.
I do think that's possible.
You do think that's possible, and you think that's a good thing. I don't mean I'm not putting a judgment on it. It's more it's a world that you think would be a world that we should want to embrace.
I think it's nature progression.
So I know it's inevitable.
In terms of a consumer, talking about the silicon-based life or the carbon-based life.
Okay, so it's an inevitable thing.
Yeah.
But even with that, if you have grandkids that are going to be born into that world of a silicon-based life, do you think that you're joyous about that? Are you happy about that world that they'll be in?
I think the value of life will also shift by that time.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Meaning, you mean the life, how long life can last will shift by that time, or what life means, or
Both.
okay.
Right.
And
so,
can you
when you
get
have like a
specific?
much
What's-
longer lifespan, right?
Yeah.
And the things, the joy you are looking after, and the meaning of life will be different.
And can you give us details? So what's in your mind about the details of what that world looks like that you can share? How would that actually feel?
Yeah, frankly speaking, I haven't think a lot.
You haven't thought a lot about this.
I haven't thought a lot.
But it's
about
your
it.
mission is going to be to usher this in.
Yeah, but I'm more like a builder. So right,
Okay,
I take
so
a progression step, right, on what I can achieve in the next 3-5 years or
Okay.
like 10 years in terms of like my life.
Fair enough, and that's enough of a challenge
Yes.
to wrestle with
Yeah.
or grapple with.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. That's great, Roger. Thank you so much. I know you're an investor too, and so one of the things that we're doing is that we're asking people to end with a 6-word piece of advice to aspiring founders going into AI. But it's a piece of advice ideally in 6 words or less. Is there any advice that you would want to share?
I think you are in the best era in terms of technology.
That's great.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it is the best era of technology. Thank you, Roger. That's the podcast.
Yeah.
And that's our show. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more discussions as well. You can also check out our website, alchemistaccelerator.com, to learn more about the Alchemist Startup Accelerator program and to get in touch. We'd love to hear from you.